Lawyer Ifeanyi Ejiofor Decries genocide killings in Southeast, says it's another Biafran war, demands urgent action. Human rights lawyer, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, has decried what he described as genocide killings in several communities in Imo State and other states across the Southeast, calling for immediate and decisive intervention by state and federal authorities. In a statement he released on Saturday, Ejiofor condemned the recent massacre of unarmed civilians in Abanatiti, Ndiegezi, Omuolema, and Ndiakwata, for communities in Arandiswagu, Idado North local government area of Imo State by yet-to-be-identified gunmen. Sahara reporters had reported that at least 7 people were confirmed dead and several others critically injured following a deadly attack by gunmen on the communities in the early hours of Friday. Confirming the attack, the police public relations officer for Imo State Command, DSP Henry Okoye, said in a statement that the assailants were alleged to be the Eastern Security Network, ESN. Ejiofor in his statement said, "This morning, I write with a heart heavy, shattered by grief, burning with rage, and aching with disbelief. I can no longer watch in silence as our homeland descends into the abyss of horror and moral collapse." According to the lawyer, what unfolded in these peaceful communities was not just another act of violence. It was a brutal reminder of our crumbling humanity, a dark chapter that has carved an eternal scar into the soul of our people. As the attack sparked widespread outrage, Ejiofor described the killings as a chilling documentary of state failure, the erosion of our values, and the slow, painful death of our shared humanity. Ejiofor said the video footage of the attack, too gruesome to share, forever etched in the minds of all who saw it, and showed lifeless bodies strewn across the land, our brothers, our sisters, our elders, our youths. Mowed down. In cold blood. They were not armed. They were not criminals. They were not combatants. They were Igbos. They were human beings. Yet in one savage sweep, they were reduced to statistics. To silence. To corpses. This was no random act of violence. This was genocide unfolding in real time, he added. The lawyer likened the scale of the killings to the horrors of the Biafran War, describing the current situation as a war undeclared, a silent, systematic war against a people rendered vulnerable simply because of who they are. He said, "The last time we witnessed this scale of targeted extermination was during the Biafran War. But that war was declared. What we are seeing today is war undeclared, a silent, systematic war. A war against a people rendered vulnerable simply because of who they are. We see the pattern. We hear the cries. We count the bodies. And we will not forget. The value of life in Igbo land has sunk to chilling lows. A society where human life holds no worth is no longer a society, it is a jungle. And today, our beloved Alegbo stands as a wasteland of shattered dreams, unburied corpses, and questions that echo with no answers. What hope can we speak of when the present is soaked in innocent blood?" Ejiofor questioned the continued relevance of governance in Imo State, asking if authority has been replaced by brute force, impunity, and the silent complicity of those who once swore an oath to protect. He said, "The screams were real. The blood was real. The deaths were real. And just as real, the deafening indifference of those in power. So I ask again, with searing urgency, is there still a government in Imo State? Does governance still exist, or has it been replaced completely by brute force, impunity, and the silent complicity of those who once swore an oath to protect? Let it be said, without fear or favor, Alegbo is bleeding. Alegbo is burning. Alegbo is dying. And those who should act have either turned away in silence or, worse, joined in the desecration." He directly appealed to all levels of government, local, state, and federal, to institute a security framework that protects civilian lives and upholds the dignity of every citizen, irrespective of ethnicity or political affiliation. We demand answers. We demand accountability. We demand justice. This is not just a political failure. It is a moral collapse. A spiritual betrayal. The slow murder of a people's soul. While official government response to the alleged incident remains pending, the statement has added to growing pressure on Governor Hope Uzodimma's administration, which has faced repeated criticism over rising insecurity in the southeast region, particularly Imo State. Obanatiti, Ndiejezi, Omuolema, and Ndayakwata have reportedly experienced sporadic security raids in the past, with residents accusing state-backed operatives of extrajudicial killings, harassment, and property destruction. However, these claims are yet to be officially addressed or independently verified. Ejiofor called for peace and justice, saying, "This is a call to conscience. A call to leadership. A call to urgent action. Those entrusted with power, at the local, state, and federal levels, must rise beyond the confines of partisanship, fear, and self-interest. They must act swiftly to institute a security framework that respects rights and restores peace, a system that protects, not exterminates, that heals, not harms. We demand answers. We demand accountability. We demand justice. This is not just a political failure. It is a moral collapse. A spiritual betrayal. The slow murder of a people's soul. Let Igbo land rise. Let the truth be spoken, free from fear. Let those in power act, before our silence becomes complicity. Let the killing stop. Let the mourning end. Let healing begin. We unequivocally condemn this barbaric and dastardly act in its entirety, and we demand immediate and decisive action from the government, if indeed any semblance of governance still exists in Imo State. Enough is enough, if it has not already been. May the souls of the innocent rest in peace. And may our land find redemption, before it is too late. IPOB gives Imo police 7 days to retract allegation or face legal action. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Danjuma Aboki, demanding an immediate retraction of allegations linking the group to the recent gunman attack and killing in Umwuluoku community in Ihime-Bano local government area of the state. Residents of Umwuluoku community in the Ihime-Bano local government area of Imo State were thrown into panic on Wednesday morning when unidentified gunmen invaded the area, unleashing hours of continuous gunfire on the community. The attackers reportedly stormed the area at about 5:30 a.m., firing indiscriminately and forcing residents to remain indoors in fear and confusion. Confirming the incident, the spokesperson for the Imo State Police Command, ASP Henry Okoye, alleged that the attackers were suspected members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed wing, Eastern Security Network, ESN. In a statement released by IPOB's Media and Publicity Secretary on Saturday, Emma Powerful, the group described the commissioner's comments as defamatory, insightful, and malicious. IPOB demanded that the police commissioner tender a public, threatening legal action if the allegation is not withdrawn and the public apology not tendered. According to Powerful, the statement made by the commissioner is a disgraceful falsehood and part of a vile attempt to criminalize IPOB and mislead the public. We state categorically that IPOB is not involved in any such violence. Mr. Aboki's actions are defamatory, insightful, and malicious. They violate the presumption of innocence and are part of a broader propaganda campaign to derail our peaceful advocacy, the statement read. IPOB emphasized that its movement remains peaceful and lawful in its agitation for the self-determination of the Biafran people and insisted that scapegoating IPOB for insecurity in the region is both irresponsible and dangerous. If he fails to retract these lies within 7 days, IPOB will drag him to court and hold him personally liable for reputational damage and criminal defamation under Nigerian law, Powerful stated. The group further accused security agencies of using IPOB as a convenient scapegoat to cover up failed operations and rising insecurity in the southeast. We will not tolerate further slander or scapegoating. The blood of our people must not be used to sanitize failed security operations and political incompetence, IPOB stated. Stay tuned for more updates, stay safe and have a blessed day.